Jamie Harrison, are you here from the DNC? What an honor. Of course, I'm going to yield the floor to you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Hello, folks. How are you all? Welcome to Chicago for the 2024 Democratic National Convention. You know, first of all, I want to thank the leadership of our Native American Caucus, our chair, Claire Pratt, my brother from another mother, Ryan Ramirez, and of course, the one and the only Ruth Ann Buffalo. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do. And I want to thank all of the tribal leaders that are here. I just saw my good brother, the governor, right there from the Gila River community in Arizona. I have spent so much time with him. But you know, folks, I am so proud of this caucus. And listen, Ryan, is this the first time at a convention we are addressing not the Native American Council, but the Native American Caucus? And folks, that's a big deal. That is a big, big, big deal. And what we have seen over these last 4 years is that the Native American community is shining like it has never shined before. We are seeing on the federal level and the state level more and more Native Americans, more folks from Indian country who are getting elected to office. And of course, you all know my best friend, my good friend, my secretary, Deb Haaland. So I don't know if you all know this. Deb and I became state party chairs at around the same time. And so we have always been like this. And so when the rumors early on, Ryan called me up and said as soon as Joe Biden got elected, it's like, man, we got this opportunity to get Deb to be a secretary. Man, I jumped on the phones because I knew the amazing leader that Deb Haaland has been as a state party leader. And I knew what she did in terms of breaking through that glass ceiling to get into Congress. And I knew she would be an amazing leader on the national level. And she has not only broke the glass ceiling, she has been making history time and time again. And I'm so proud of my dear, dear friend, Deb Haaland, who is our amazing Secretary of the Interior. I want to thank you all for what you do. I want to thank you for being leaders in your community. I am so grateful for all that you do to support this Democratic Party time and time again. You all are the difference maker in some of the most important states that we have right now. In the states of Arizona, in Nevada, in Michigan, in Wisconsin, you know, it is Indian country standing up and saying unified in one voice, enough is enough. We're tired of the demonization that is coming from the other side, particularly from Donald Trump. And if there was any community that has been demonized probably more than any other by this guy who was twice impeached, convicted 34 times, judge said that he actually raped a woman. He's a disgrace to say that he was in the office of the presidency. And we know the derogatory things he would say about Indian country, about the Native American communities. But now we had a change. We have Joe Biden, who not only saw you all, not only heard the cries for investment, but has been fighting for you all and fighting for all of our communities. Think about the sheer, you know, sometimes politicians talk. And I have this whole story about this one time. I'm going to say this before I go into this. When I first became chair of the South Carolina Democratic Party, I remember visiting some of the rural parts of South Carolina. And I had some signs and stuff that I was trying to put up. And I went down this old dirt road in one of these rural communities in South Carolina. And I pulled up in the yard for one of these small little houses we call shotgun houses in the South. And some of you in the South know what I mean. They're long, and basically, if you shot a gun through the house, it would go straight through. And so I got out of my car, I had some signs in my hand, I went up to the door, knocked on the screen door, and there was this elderly African-American man who came to the door. And he looked at me and he said, "Who are you and what do you want?" I said, "Sir, I'm Jamie Harrison. I'm the chair of the Democratic Party." And he looked and he said, "You the chair?" I said, "Yes, sir, I'm the chair." He said, "So what do you want?" I said, "Well, you know, this is a very, very important election, and so we really need you to go out and vote." He said, "Son, you see that road you came up on?" And I looked back. I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "What kind of road is that?" I said, "It's a dirt road." He said, "Son, that was a dirt road when Ronald Reagan was president. That was a dirt road when the Bushes were president. That was a dirt road under Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. Son, that's still a goddamn dirt road. So until either you Democrats or Republicans pave my road, I don't want to deal with any of you." And he shut his door and he went in his house. You know, and I started thinking about what this man really meant. For this man, now for those of us who lived on a dirt road, we know what dirt roads are, right? You got to get your car aligned all the time because you hit one of those big holes. But for this man, the most important thing was to get his road paved. And he had heard politician after politician talking about investing here and investing there, but never anybody paved his road. Now, for some of us, it could be a dirt road. For others of us, it could be a hospital that is closed or a factory that is shut down or a school that is falling apart. Ultimately, we are looking for leaders, regardless, Democrat or Republican, who are just going to deliver for us. We're not looking for the words. We're looking for the actions, for folks to fight for us, to see us, to value us. And I can tell you this with no equivocation. Joe Biden has been the most fighting for us president of my lifetime. And I know he has done it, and I know he has done it for Indian country. This is a man, he has poured billions. I ain't talking about, I didn't say millions, I said billions of dollars into Indian country. Focus on our infrastructure, making sure that there's broadband, making sure clean water is going into our homes, making sure that we protect the heritage of the Native American communities. And folks, tonight on that stage will be Joe Biden. And guess what? We are going to give him his flowers. We are going to thank him for all that he has done to stand by us and to celebrate us. That is what we will do. And this week, my friends, this week, his last selfless act, whereas Donald Trump is the most selfish president in the history of this country, a man who so desperately wanted to hold on to power, he was willing to risk the life of his vice president. Joe Biden is the most selfless president that we have ever had, who understood that in this moment, if I can't carry this baton in order to protect Americans' freedoms, in order to protect Americans' rights, I'm going to give it to the next best person, and that is his MVP, our Madam Vice President, Kamala Harris. And of course, you know, I often say this, the Republican Party is a party of fear. But folks, we are the party of hope. And this convention is going to be about hope and joy. And on the team Hope and Joy, we have our MVP, our Madam Vice President, and we got our coach, Tim Walz. And we are going to hear their stories. We're going to hear about how they have fought for us. And you know, when Tim Walz becomes the vice president, we're going to get our first Native American governor in Peggy Flanagan. So you see how all those dominoes have fallen? And they're falling all for us, and they're falling for your communities. I am so excited. I am so hopeful. I have so much joy right now. And I think it's contagious because I'm seeing it all around the country. And I know you're seeing it in your communities. Now, folks, this is what the vice president has told us time and time again. I hope you get your vitamins, go to Costco, do what you got to do, you know, get vitamin up, get your nice running shoes or walking shoes or whatever you have, some flexible pants and all, because we're going to be knocking on some doors. We're going to be making some phone calls. We're going to get our nieces and nephews, aunts and uncles, grandmas and grandpas. We're going to get them in the cars and do whatever we need to do to take them to that ballot box to vote. Because when we vote, we make hope real. But when we fight, folks, what do? We win. When we fight, we win, and we are going to win this election. Thank you all so much for what you do. Thank you for allowing me to be here with you this morning. Thank you.